The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. If you're a sensitive snowflake that may get easily offended, then turn this off immediately. If you want to hear the real truth about the gun culture, then stick around. This is the Armed Citizen Podcast. What is going on, my Go Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 171. Today's date is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. We are live, as always, on YouTube and over on Facebook. So if you're out there in the live chat, make sure you say something because we don't know you're out there unless you do. If you're new to the show, new to the channel, and you're a first-time watcher and all that, and you want to be shouted out, we'll give you a shout-out. Just let us know where you're from and say first-time listener or whatever, and we'll make sure we try to get you shouted out. Throughout the show, if you have a question or comment that you want to make sure that we maybe read or see or whatever, or answer, then go ahead and tag myself or someone on the panel in the comments below. We'll try to get to it as long as it's relatively on topic. Tonight's going to be kind of a looser show, so we're not going to have to really worry about staying on topic because it's going to be a fun one. Not as fun as we had last night on Clover's chat. If you missed that one over on his lounge podcast, go check that out. He and I just we went down some rabbit holes and talked about comedians and all. It was a great show, great podcast. Really enjoyed it. So if you're out there, if you want to text or call in, yes, you can call into the show. Text or call in. The number is down below on the banner. The number is 530-364-4678. That is the Ghost Tactical Hotline, brought to you by our good friends Rod and Shelly Gates at the Gun Cleaners. The Gun Cleaners right there. The only thing that I trust my weapons to get some solvent and some lube. Great product, great people, real people. We know them. They're friends of ours. We've hung out with them. Awesome people, awesome product. As always, if you're out there and you are struggling, especially through this kind of the time of year where things are maybe colder and you're in the house and with the COVID stuff and whatever your issues are, if you are having issues, and you need some help, whether you're a veteran or not, but especially if you're a veteran, call me 24/7. I'm always around. My number is right down there. My email is easily accessible. You can get a hold of me anytime you want, but if you can't get a hold of me or you want to talk to someone anonymously, reach out to the Veteran Crisis Hotline. The number is 1-800-273-8255. Good people over there are trying to help out as many people as they can. And as always, we're going to spotlight the United States Marine Corps. Guys, if you're out there and you have questions on the Marines or if you want to try to become a Marine, whatever, go check out the website, www.marines.com. That being said, let's welcome our first panelist. We got some other links out there, so check your emails out there. If you're one of the usual suspects, you might have a link. I sent the links out a few hours ago. Apparently, maybe they didn't go through, or I don't really know, so I resent them a few minutes ago. So if you're out there, join in if you'd like. If not, if you're out there in the chat and want to join the panel, say so. I'll put the link out there to you and let you in. And then some of you have never been live or whatever, come on, join the dark side. We are the water is not too cold. It's cold, but it's not too cold. We try to keep it nice and warm. But from the great state of Texas, our good buddy, the tactical leprechaun himself. What's up, Clove?
Yo, ho ho.
Ho ho. Man, we had a good time last night. That was a really fun chat. That's people don't realize, you and I talk a lot on the phone, but the stuff that we talked about last night, that's the kind of stuff that we talk about usually. We don't talk guns and politics typically. We go down some weird rabbit holes on the phone, and that was more like a regular phone conversation, you know?
Yeah, that chat was hashtag not 2A enough for sure.
yes it was. Yes it was.
But somebody came in, who was it? Crump had one the other night, like his Christmas special. They were kind of letting their hair down, right?
Yeah.
And G-Webs was in there, and Argo J was in there, and Orlando was in there, and I don't even remember who all. And man, they were talking about movies and Star Wars and just a lot of different stuff. And there was several people came in, and I get it because John's kind of known for the 2A chats and all of that stuff. And somebody come in and it was like, this isn't 2A, I'm out of here. And I'm like, every now and then it's nice to just talk about other things.
Yeah, especially like and we talked about this is I don't watch a lot of gun stuff usually. I watch my buddy stuff and try to support them, but I'm not watching a whole lot of gun stuff. I watch a lot of music stuff, a lot of comedy stuff, a lot of business, entrepreneurial, all that kind of stuff. But like I have a really eclectic homepage. Honestly, it's weird. It's all over the place. But one of the big things is, especially at night, when I go to bed, I'll find some stand-up routine and put my earbuds in and let it go if it's something that I like. And I'll usually, when I start ready to fall asleep, I'll just hit stop, put the phone over to the side, take the earbuds off. But I listen to comedy almost probably 5 nights a week as I go to bed. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put this out there. Put the link out there. Budget, you've got a link. I know you're probably at work, but Gizzard and Snob, and there's several of you out there that are out there. If you want to join in, you've got links there. Supposed to have gone out a couple hours ago. Maybe they didn't. Don't really know. But I resent them, so you might have links if you want to. You don't have to, but if anybody out there wants to, go ahead and hit that link, and we'll let you in. We'll see what happens.
Did you send them through email again?
I did send them through email again, so I didn't send it to you because you were already in here.
Okay. So it's like, because I haven't got the second one if you did, but yeah, that would explain it.
Yeah, Snob says that show wasn't 2A enough, so we skipped it, or we're just busy putting on a go-kart back together.
Well, that ain't 2 enough either. So
yeah, although that's probably a lot more fun.
Shame on him.
I don't know if putting it back together is more fun, but once it's put back together, yeah, we'll have fun with that. So Budget said he got the link. That's good. So at least
you tried to make up for it though with the video you dropped, the whole 2A thing, because you went all all Johnny B. Jared or something on us with the 2A stuff earlier, boy.
Well, yes and no. So I did that for a reason. I put the thumbnail and the title in such a way that would prove a point. And if you guys haven't watched the video, you don't have to, but if you want to, go for it. But basically what it got is I've been getting, and it's been building over a long while. Just a lot of the bullshit that happens with people's videos, and they put either they're clickbaiting the hell out of it, which is fine. It is what it is. But the more dangerous ones are the ones that are putting videos out there to specifically try to get subs. Specifically try to get views,
right?
And not necessarily trying to do anything but that, and you can tell, you can read right through a lot of it.
These people that do that, one of two things, and I don't think you get to be a big channel by it being the second thing, right? I'm going to mention, but one of two things. The first thing is, you're legitimately, we talked about context and conveyance and communication last Nerd Chat, right? And so they're coming up front. They got a title, they got a thumbnail that's like, government's taking your guns tomorrow, and they start out the video by saying the government's coming for your guns, this report, and it's usually Ammo Land or T-Tag or one of those, right? So the report from this says that so-and-so's coming, and they basically reinforce that before people start dropping off, right? And then toward the tail end of it, a lot of times, they'll start getting into the nuance and minutia, right, of a little more of the details, right? But like I said, they either know that people are going to fall off, and so they intentionally fearmonger and bait at the front, or the second thing is they're completely inept, and you don't get to be a big channel, I don't think, by being completely inept about that. So yeah, I mean, they're willing participants. They know what they're doing. They're knowing how they're structuring it. And a lot of times they will, in the final 10% of the video, they'll allude to where the article's at, the links below, check this out. It's not as dire as it might have seemed or whatever, they'll start rolling it back. But they don't do that at the first of the video. And let's be honest, most of the people out there that's listening, they don't want to hear that right up front. They don't want to hear that the world's not falling apart. I don't know what it is about people, but we've talked about it. They had rather watch a train wreck, and G Webb's alluded to this as a lot of why. They had rather watch the train wreck rather than the awards show at the county fair.
Absolutely.
And the reason is the people doing the awards show, part of the reason, I should say, one of the reasons is humanity is just flat out warped. I believe that. But another reason is that the people covering the county fair are not doing it in the same fashion or to the same level as the folks covering the train wreck. So that falls on us as creators to try to devise a way to get people and captivate people with a more positive message, and then keep that momentum rolling.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of that video. Is people are going to click on the train wreck, the sky is falling, and that's great. Do what you want to do, and I'm not saying don't click on that. I'm saying watch it, but don't just watch one person's or two people's and say, well, because this person says this is it. This is what's going on. They might have an ulterior motive, and most of the time they do.
And you need to watch the opposite side of the argument as well.
Absolutely.
You need to watch the complete opposite. I know a lot of you out there don't want to do that. You don't want to go watch Young Turks or some crap like that. I get it.
Right.
But you need to. Mm-hmm. Because the truth is always somewhere in the middle. Always somewhere in the middle. Always.
Yep. No doubt. John C. out there says, I thought this was about gifts. It is. We're going to get there, John. What we try to do for the first 10 minutes or so is
he's got a good point. Let's do it.
Recap a little bit, and then it kind of gives time for notifications and all that. So I hear he says, I'm just giving you a hard time. I'll be here all night. No worries. Well, hell.
So since he's giving us a hard time, he's got to throw out the first gift suggestion out there.
That's right, John. So we're going to throw you under the spotlight.
There you go.
So what I want everybody to do is kind of give an ideas, and this is not necessarily high priced or low prices. This makes no difference of the price, but it's just something that are good little maybe last minute gifts that you can find for the firearm guy or outdoorsy guy or camping guy or whatever,
What if we tried to divide this conversation into some segments? Just a thought.
We can do that. We can
divide it by price, divide it maybe by availability. So things that can be picked up in any of your local Walmart stores or things like that, things that you have to versus things you have to get online. And then under $20, $20 to $100, over $100. Maybe do that to have some fluidity to it.
We can try. I don't necessarily think it's going to end up that
way. It ain't going to happen with the bunch that's out there tonight. No doubt. It's not going to happen like that.
This is one of the things that I was going to kind of start with. And Midnight Rains out there says gift cards to small businesses help them now when they need it the most. It's normally the busiest time and it's a ghost town. So I'm assuming he's more talking about from the restaurant side. Absolutely. Go try to find some local restaurants and all that. But something that my daughter always gets me is, she gets me either $50 or $100, whatever she can afford at the time. And she's 23. So I don't expect anything from her, but she always gives me like maybe $25 or $50, whatever it would be, of a gift card to one of the gun shops that I go to down in Little Rock. And that's awesome because here's the thing. If I use it, chances are if it's $25 or $50, chances are that if I use that gift card, I'm going to spend well more than $25 or $50. So not only are they going to get that money, but they're probably going to get a little bit more than what the gift card is. Mm-hmm. Secondly, if I lose it or if I don't use it for whatever reason, they've already made that money. So that's almost a free $25 going to their bottom line. So, it's one of those things where small businesses, restaurants, gun shops, all that stuff, most definitely gift cards and I'm not saying gift cards like the Visa, like you can put $25. I'm actually like a gift card from that store or that restaurant or that business. Yeah. That the only place you can spend it is at that establishment because that really does help.
So a life hack here. One of the things, even if there may be people out there that maybe they don't have a lot of family and they don't buy a lot of gifts or whatever it might be.
That's the way we are.
Here's something it's something that my wife and I talked about last time we went out to eat. There was a big sign that the Mexican restaurant we eat at Buy $20 worth of gift cards, get $10 free, a $10 gift card to go with it. So even if you don't have people to buy for, if you go ahead and make a $20 investment, you're going to eat there eventually anyway. You're going to get $10 for free. If you buy 40, you get 20. So basically, for every 2 gift cards, you get a free meal or something like that, right? Out of it. What a deal. You're supporting the business. They're getting their money up front. And then at the same time, you're basically, that's economical shopping, man. That's economical eating out to me by doing stuff like that. So there's more to it, I think, the gift card game than just giving that as a gift.
Absolutely. JMA says, got the wife, the Hellcat from Springfield.
Wow.
I hope she's not watching right now because you just gave it away. That's all good. James Nelson out there says pistol magazines for sure, especially Glock. I mean, Glock you can get for about $20. Now the other ones you can get, some magazines for certain pistols are $35, $40.
Well, I think you could get American Handgunner for like $4.95 off the drugstore shelf, can't you? So that's a pistol magazine, right?
Okay, yeah, and recoil you can get for about $10, $12. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Someone up there was talking about let me find it. A good EDC knife. So this was one that I picked up not too long ago, and everyone knows that I like karambits. So this is a fixed karambit. It's a really good fighting knife. It's not going to be for everyone. I realize that. But I saw this one somewhere. This costs like $18. Is it the most awesome steel available? No. It's from United Cutlery. But that costs $18. So that could be a nice, and it comes with a sheath, a Kydex sheath. It goes as a clip or it goes through a belt, whatever. And for $18, I mean, that's not bad. So something like that could be a life-saving tool for someone for under $20. So another knife. This is another one I brought. Gerber. I think this is under $10. A little Gerber folding knife. Under $10, So yeah, pocket knives are great. Flashlights. You can go get a Streamlight micro USB that I carry. I love. I think Clover, you carry the same one for like $30 on Amazon or something. So let's do a little bit of shilling. I know Clover does as well. So, and I do, and there are many out there. I think in budget, there are many of people out there that have an Amazon influencer store. If you are going to shop Amazon, let's go a little plug for both of this. If you're going to shop Amazon, if you want to help the channels out, or if not just mine or Clover's, but anyone that you want to support, if they have an influencer store, all you have to do is maybe Google Amazon Ghost Tactical, Amazon Clover Tac, and our influencer page will come up. Click on that link and then do your normal Amazon shopping, and we'll get a little percentage of whatever you buy. It doesn't cost you anything. And all of that. It's just one of those ways that if you're going to shop, go ahead and shop one of the channels that you like. And I usually do Clover. I'm not sure if you do. A lot of people will put their Amazon link in the description of most of their videos. So yeah, go check that out if you want to. It doesn't cost you anything, but that does help support channels and all of that. Hold on. I got a question for you. Ask Clover if a Glock 40 10mm long slide is a good Christmas gift to myself.
Absolutely.
Now, this is from Jason out there. So I'm going to assume, what you're going to answer. Go ahead, answer that.
Absolutely. If you're not going to pat yourself on the back, don't expect anybody else to. That's what I always say.
That's correct.
So you deserve it? Yes, absolutely.
And even if you don't deserve it.
Right. Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares? Steven says, sometimes I put empty casings up my nose at the range to make my wife giggle. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? Let's see here. I'm trying to go back up here.
I know a guy that puts empty 223s for Ear Pro. So
yeah,
which is weird.
Okay, so instead of going to be going through like the price breakdowns, because that'd be way too hard for me. I'm not good at math.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to know what the retail is out there on any given thing.
And
anyway.
if it's available and all that, let's just kind of start going. And so let's kind of start going through like range stuff. Okay. It's easier to maybe break it down to like that kind of thing. So range stuff.
Sure.
And you can get a lot of stuff at Walmart, at Tractor Supply, obviously Amazon or anywhere online. But some of the good, cheaper stuff you can think of are like you brought Ear Pro, like little foam Ear Pro. You can get them for like nothing. You can get a whole box of them for like $3 with hundreds of packs of them.
Or a jug. I like the little medicine jugs or whatever. I call them medicine bottles. That's got like 50 something pair in it. And a lot of people, you don't think about it, even if you don't use those. I don't use those, but I have a jar of those in my range bag. Why? Because at any given time, if somebody's out there and they've forgotten their Ear Pro or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? I got a bottle of earplugs right there, ready to go.
Absolutely. And I think Snob's got one as well. I want to bring this up. He says it takes money away from Amazon, and that's not a bad thing because you don't use someone else's link. Amazon's just making more off that item. Absolutely.
Yep.
So trust me, they don't need the money,
Right. If you're anti-capitalist, you should shop our Amazon links. That's what's all.
That's true. That is true. Nighthawk says he's going to buy himself an AA12 stock to convert his JTS A12 into his own ghetto AA12. I didn't know there was a stock converter, so that's kind of cool. AA12s are pretty bad. A
lot of people apparently buying their own presents. My wife and I talked about this actually just a few minutes ago. She's like, what are we going to do this year? And I said, you know what? Here's what I want to do. If you're game, I don't want to do anything for Christmas. What I want to do is let's go out shopping the after Christmas sales. Right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And because what Rich was talking about, the Gerber gift night sets and stuff like that for $20, I bought those for $5 after Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have. And you talk about great giveaway items when you can pick those up because you're going to have to ship them, and that's going to cost $3, $4, $5 anyway. But when you could get those 3-packs for $5, $10, on after Christmas clearance, and then break them down among 3 knives, that's 3 giveaways, man.
So interestingly enough, I got a gift, and it's, I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's a 50 BMG antenna for your vehicle.
Oh,
it replaces. Oh, it's badass, and it's about 6 inches tall, and it's a 50 BMG, and you just take your antenna off, and it comes with three or four different screws, and you put that on as your antenna. Now you're rolling around town with 50 BMG on your hood. It's pretty awesome. The problem is they come with all of the metric converter screw sizes,
right?
And it's a 5/16. So even like an 8mm, it's just a little bit too big, and 7mm is just a little bit too small. And so I had to go online, and I found a converter that goes from 5/16 up to 6mm because the BMG screws on top, and it's a 6mm thread. And this one came like an 8 to 6. Well, the 8's just a little too wide, so I had to go 5/16 because that's what the hole is. So I found one, and it's going to cost me 99 cents. Pretty awesome. $6 shipping. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
Got another text in here. Who's this? This from Southpaw. He said, "Ever heard of Rumble? Don't know if it's two-way friendly or not."
Yep.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I'm over there. I don't think
So I am over there, and I'll throw this out there for everybody. Anybody that knows anything about Rumble, I need help. I've reached out to people that have promoted Rumble, and I've reached out to Rumble themselves. I've uploaded 3 videos. I've got 0 views. You cannot search for my channel or my videos on Rumble. I have no idea how people find your content on Rumble. That's my problem.
Yeah.
They claim that they have algorithms and a search system and all this, but I can't figure out any way to find. If I go in as a rank and file user, log out and go in, I can't find my content. And so to me, that says Rumble's a horrible platform. But other people that have bigger channels, they promote it. But you got to realize you're talking channels with hundreds of thousands or millions of subs. And so I'm sure if they mention it on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or whatever, they're going to get thousands of views over there, right? Regardless.
Yeah. Well, Nighthawk says they have no organization at all. It's worse than Twitter. And I don't think it'd be worse than Twitter, but if it's worse than Twitter, I don't even want to think about it.
Well, I can tell you now, there's no way, unless you push people to your content, there's no way they're going to find it.
Steven out there, man, I tell you what, he's all over. He says, how about an official Ghost Tactical pack? I do have a few left. Probably got 8, 10 left. If you want one, send me an email. I'll maybe send you a link over to PayPal or something, but I'll get one out to you for sure. Just let me know. Like I said, I've got a few left. So yeah, I will be ordering some more. And I'm gonna be talking. I talked to Clover about this a couple weeks ago, and we're going to try to figure out maybe a source. And maybe he's going to have some patches that maybe we can go all, get several of us to do some patches, kind of like G did, but I mean, not as a patch batch, but just adding the number up to get a better deal. But I want to do another Ghost Tactical patch. I want to do an Armed Citizen podcast patch, maybe even a tier 9 patch and all that. So I will be ordering some more patches probably the first of the year. So be on the lookout for those. And when they do, I'll put them up on the website and Instagram and all that, and links to all those. But yeah, if you guys, like I said, I've got a handful of them left. If anyone wants a Ghost Tactical patch, send me an email or text me or call me or whatever, and I'll make sure that gets going on. Let's see here.
You make a good point there when you were pimping everybody's Amazon stores. Everybody's, if you're looking at stocking stuffers or, just looking at certain things you can pick up and, during the holidays and maybe help the creators you like. Many of them have websites and they have swag, be it shirts, caps, stickers, patches, whatever it might be. So check those things out. And those are unique things too.
Yeah, John, email me, bub. Email me, text me the numbers scrolling down there. Yeah, let me know, and I'll we'll get hooked up. Hans out there, a buddy of mine that I train with and work a lot with down here at the range, says, "Hell yeah, tier 9 patch he has a new rig." So yeah, he got a new, not this, but he got a new plate carrier and all that stuff. So put that on there. So yeah. So Midnight says, I just graduated to tier 475 operator. There you go. Yeah, so get back to the range. Speaking of the range, so Ear Pro. And someone up there, I can't remember who it was. Someone said you should always have 2 pairs of electronic Ear Pro. And I'm not saying cool. $1 from Stephen Elder. There you go. $1 right there. Let's see. Who are we going to do this to? You know what? We're going to do, we're going to keep going. Even though it might not get there to Christmas, we're still going to go with all super chats. Half now, half on delivery. It's going to take a lot more than $1, my friend. But we'll talk. But all super chats tonight will still go to Operation Gratitude, and we'll try to get some more care packages sent overseas. So we already got 15 of them from last week, which was awesome. Thank you so much to everyone that did that. If we can get another 15, it takes about $225, I found out, to get 15 care packages. I'm not saying you got a super chat, but all super chats going to go towards Operation Gratitude. We're going to try to get a couple more care packages going down range. So yeah, back to the range. Yeah, we'll definitely say Ear Pro, but I like electronic Ear Pro. But I have a lot of them, but I only take like one of electronic. I have a bunch of just regular the foam stuff, or just earmuffs that aren't electronic, or the ones that I really like to use are decibels, and I got those at SHOT Show Range Day like 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember. It might have been the first. I don't remember, but I got them. They were giving them out, and they're formed to your ear and all that, but they're just plugs. They're not electronic or anything. I'd say what I really like to get, though, I would like to get eventually some of the electronic ear buds or plugs, whatever, not the muffs, because I like muffs, but I just, they're sometimes they're too big, and that's why I like the decibels. But there's some good ones out there, I think.
I can tell you from experience that with batteries, the plugs are kind of a pain in the butt. They were, when I got them, they were really awesome, and I got a very high dollar set of sound gear plugs, and I used them for the longest. They use hearing aid batteries, which you got to kind of buy in bulk. But except for a hunting situation, because I really advise some type of electronic plug. They're going to amplify things so you can hear those game animals in the woods. And then, of course, they're going to cut out when you fire, which we want at any time we're using firearms. but yeah, on a day-to-day basis in the range, uh, yeah. And then as far as muffs goes, I don't like them, but it'd be interesting to hear out there in the chat the folks. Most people that are big into handgun, they they don't have a problem with muffs. But when you get off into rifle and
Mhm.
shotgun,
Yeah, it
muffs
can
are
get.
just they can just unless you got a really good set that's low profile and all that, they can really get in the way.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out. Thanks. $50 from Nighthawk Medic. Appreciate you,
Nice.
Doc. $10 from JS, Jason Stewart. Thanks, guys. Like I said, these are going to go. Oh, wow. Another $50 from G23. 22 a day is 22 too many. Absolutely. Thank you, G23.
You said that
Jason.
number was dropping the other day, though.
It is. So we
Thank
haven't had a
goodness.
meeting in a while. And I can't go into a whole lot about this as far as what we talk about, but there's about 10 of us, and it's a task force that I'm on with the VA, and I'm actually with people in Washington, like the National Director of Suicide Prevention for the Veterans Affairs. I mean, we're talking like the big wigs that are in the room for the VA. How I got invited to this, I have no idea. But I'm very appreciative for the opportunity to work with the VA, and they wanted to bring me in to kind of bring the veteran side of things, because they know that the actual veterans themselves do not. There's a bad taste in a lot of veterans' mouths about the VA, and they want to try to change that. Anyways, that being said, um, in our last 2 meetings ago, I guess this is about 2 months ago. 2 meetings ago, we were talking, and maybe it was last month. It was November. Okay, it was early November. This is right before Veterans Day, and they said that thankfully the numbers that they have, the newest numbers, which I think were from 2019. I believe they were 2019 numbers, saying, and this is still bad, but the number of 22 a day has dropped to 17. Now, obviously, 17 a day is still way too many, but that is on average, your 5 lives are being saved more than they were in the previous year
Absolutely.
per day. So that's huge. What is that? 1,500, 1,600 some odd,
Oh yeah.
people a year that are not able or wanting to or whatever, are not going through the act of taking their own lives. And this is from the veteran side, not everyone, just the veteran side. So it's one of those things that yeah, so 22 day is too many. So is 17, but I am happy to see that it's gone from 22 to 17 as the last number. I think that was as of 2019. So that's a wonderful thing. So anyways, let's anyways, there you go. Range stuff. So now we're talking ear and eye pro, man. You can go get, I mean, all the stuff you can go get for like $1. They don't have to be anything special. But I know that you and I have had this conversation multiple times, both publicly and privately, about iPro. And there are things that you may want to spend a little bit more money on your iPro. I'm not saying you go spend $400 or $500, but you can go spend $50 to $100. But there are reasons why, and I know you and I discussed this, but there are some ratings that you want to make sure that if you're going to use eye protection, they need to be rated certain things, and they need certain grades and all that. You want to talk more about that, especially with your Hunter's HD Gold? I know you really love those. You actually use them in normal life also. But I know that there's some of the, and you're more up to date on some of the ratings that eyeglasses have to be considered really solid eye protection.
Yeah, the Hunter's HD Gold, that was one of them situations where just connections through the shooting sports world, and I was fortunate enough to get my hands on some, and I've seen the ocular benefits, right, of what those provide. And I don't wear glasses,
Yeah.
but I do wear those. I got a regular set in a pair of Nike frames, and that's kind of goes into the ratings, right? Um, I do got a set in a pair of Nike frames that are kind of my everyday wear, right?
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah, when you're looking at um, when you're looking at your safety glasses, you want to make sure of a couple of things. Yes, you could pick up a pair of 99 cent or $1.99 or whatever it might be at what am I thinking? Harbor Freight, right, or someplace like
Sure.
that.
Sure. Yeah.
But you really need some OSHA approved stuff.
Yep.
They need to be what they call ANSI rated. The not only the lenses but the
The
frames,
frame.
right? And
Mhm.
people don't think
Absolutely.
about that, right? So having a set of glasses that are not ANSI rated, even though people say, well, something is better than nothing, it might not be.
Can be
Because
worse.
when you get
Yeah.
something that hits that and it fragmentates and shatters because it's not safety rated, then you've just got one projectile that's turned into multiple sharp projectiles right in front
Correct.
of your eye, right? So
Yep.
in this situation, I'm not advocating for not wearing safety glasses at all, but something does not necessarily equate to being better than nothing in this case. So pay attention to the safety rating on both the frames and the lenses.
And the reason why that's important, real quick, before you could
Yeah,
continue, is the
no, go
reason
ahead.
that's important is safety glasses and rated for ballistics and all that. What happens is something does come back and hit that. If it does break, it's either going to be one solid piece or two. I mean, it's going to be a solid piece where you're not getting the shrapnel.
Right.
That makes sense. So that's why it's
Yeah.
important. Where you can go buy a cheap pair of sunglasses at the local store. And
Mm-hmm.
like Corvo was saying, one thing, and that goes into one projectile turns into 1,000 little pieces of shrapnel plastic that you're pretty much done at that point. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry about
No,
that.
absolutely. No. So I mean that's what you need to look into. Another thing that we talk about when we're talking about shooting glasses, and again, in this sense, something is better than nothing when we're talking about the tint or the color of the glasses. Now, the beautiful thing about Hunter's HD Gold is it's all go over to their website, check them out, read all
Sure.
about it, or check out one of my
Sure.
videos on them, of course, to get all of the skinny. But long story short, um, they're a combination of shooting glasses that have multiple benefits in the shooting sports world, as well as just being good for your ocular health overall. That being said, when we talk about the tint in glasses and stuff like that, um, what a set of glasses, I'll call them a set because they've got multiple lenses. And there's quite a few sets out there that have multiple lenses, right? And so Radiance Shift is the one, if they even still make them. I don't know that they even do. Safety rated all across the board, come with like 5 different lenses. So depending on your situation, you may need the smoke tint if you're out in really bright light. You may need an amber tint if you are if it's overcast. You may need more of a clear if you're
Clear. Yeah.
indoor. You may need a red or something like that for like enhancement of sporting clays, right? To make that clay pop, orange clay pop against like a green, washed out background, something like that.
Sure.
So I think once people start diving into the um, the safety glass world at some of the different things that you can do and you can achieve and how much better you can see targets and things like that with a quality pair of safety glasses. And like you said, you don't got to go $350 with 100
No.
HD gold or sometimes up into the 800 and 1,000 and $1,500 on some of the
Right.
competition style glasses. You don't have to get that crazy. For that 50 to 100 mark, you can get a quality set, rated frames, rated lenses with multiple lenses for whatever your task might be. So definitely a good gift for the avid shooter out there. Somebody that even don't have to be in the competition, but maybe just goes to the range a lot in a lot of different situations, lighting situations.
Right. The glasses that I've been using for a while now are from Gators, Gatorz, Gators. And they're usually about $85, $90. And I really like them. I like the shape of them. They're kind of wrapped around, but they're not like the Oakleys that are big. They're just kind of wrap around. They stay in tight. Um, I tell you a funny story about you were talking about the clear lenses. I'm not a big clear lens guy when I like to shoot. I don't like clear lenses, but I have a couple pair of clear lenses. I've got some that have like 3 or 4 different shades, and you can just pop them out and all that. It's really kind of cool. But I tell you what I do use the clear lenses for is when I cook. If I'm working with onions, my wife laughs at me because she can
Yep.
go in there and do onions, not a problem. I cannot handle that initial wave of holy shit, the onions are I'm
Right.
slicing onions. So I'll put and it's not gonna stop it, but I'll put the clear lens shooting glasses on, go into the kitchen, and I'll start chopping up onions, and it does help. So
Right.
we do utilize those somehow, some way. Go for it.
Well, no, I was just going to say, since we're talking about glasses, I got an email today about a new product supposedly on the market, which is safety rated shooting glasses with a built-in camera, with a built-in HD camera, which is
Really?
interesting. Yeah, it was an email. I'll have to pull it up. I don't know the brand. I don't know anything else, but it
Cool.
was a reputable company that reached out to me on their behalf. That said, hey, these are out, these are available. Let us know if you want to try them and this sort of thing. So there is such a thing as some safety rated glasses with a camera, which is pretty cool because up until now there was just the Amazon or eBay glasses, you know what I mean, that are not safety rated that have the camera, and that's kind of again like we've talked about, that's not the best option in the world.
Yeah, Artac out there says yellow, and John C. Yeah, and there. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not a purpose. He says I use a clear lens for indoor range. Absolutely. I would rather go with yellow over clear because yellow is still gonna, be bright enough. I don't like yellow a whole lot. I usually like just normal, regular dark glasses. That's just the way even if it's overcast, typically I'll go with dark. When I go shoot competition, I'll always take some yellow and some clear just in case, just in case. But typically, if I can avoid using yellow or clear, I would, but I would choose yellow typically before I went. Clear would be like the last resort. Like I'm really having problems seeing downrange or whatever. Holy hell. Thanks, G23. $100.
There you go.
Appreciate you.
Well, there's a package already.
There's that's a little over $200. There's 15 between G23 and Jason Stewart, Nighthawk Medic, Stephen Elder. We've already raised enough already for another 15 care packages for the troops. Thank you so much, guys. This is basically every $200 gets you about 15 to between 200 and 225 will get you about 15 care packages. So yeah, nice. John says he's going to try yellow for indoor. Yeah, like I said, for me, use what you want to use. We're not saying try, but if you want to try some different things, and like Clover was saying also, is different colors are going to bring different other colors up to the forefront. Right. They're going to stand out.
Depends a lot. It's going to depend a lot on the targets you're shooting at, the optics you're looking through. There's a lot of variables when you talk about what style tent you need. It's not just the lighting situation.
Absolutely. Honcho says he only wears Gucci sunglasses. Doesn't everyone? I'm more of a Burberry and sometimes Louis Vuitton, but well, it is what it is. No.
Right. By the way, quick plug. You can put Hunter's HD framed lenses in anything. As I said earlier, I got a pair of Nikes that have those. So
now, do you have to send the frames to them, or do they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And by the way, for those that are unaware, for those that are unaware, it's the same cost whether you get prescription lenses or mine are regular because I don't need glasses. But whether you get prescription or regular, same price, by the way. But anyway, go ahead.
No, I was saying just for people that are interested in that, if you want to put your own frames and get the Hunter HD Gold lenses in there, from the day you send them off to the day you get it back, is there a typical? Do you remember what your timeline was?
A week,
really?
maybe.
So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Their machines, man. They've literally been in the optical business, the eyeglass business since like the 70s.
Awesome.
So they're not some company that said, just come up one day and like shooting sports or did whatever and didn't know anything about anything and said, we're going to start producing shooting glasses, right? They literally know about people's eyes and all of that stuff. So you've got an actual optic company behind them.
Okay, John C., I got your email, bro. When the show's over, I'll get back with you. But I want to let you know I did get your email. So we've got Hearing Pro, Eye Pro. Obviously, we're talking holsters. Holsters are something you can get for anywhere from $10 to obviously a few $100. It's all relative here, but holsters are great. And I've got literally right over here. It's a dresser full drawers of holsters. I'm a holster whore junkie. I really am. And most of them I won't use. So if you're looking for a holster, and I might have one that I can send you that that will fit your gun. So just let me know. But yeah, holsters are great because a lot of people, especially the newer gun owners, that's one thing that they may or may not think about when they go and get their first gun. They've got their gun and they're worried about more the gun and the ammo. But when they get home, they're like, well, holster, should have thought about that, So
I very rarely think about that, but I'm in a totally different space than you with that too. So
yeah, I like I said, man, holsters are my thing. As a matter of fact, I'll talk about here in a second. But Snobs is a holster company gift card, and there's some great. And I'm not plugging these companies because I recommend them. I'm recommending them because I'm saying it because I know these people. But the good people at Klinger holsters, Concealment Express, Harry's holsters, We the People. A lot of mine are We the People holsters. This right here, this is the Walther. That's a Klinger. So what I did is Walther here in Arkansas, Klinger's here in Arkansas. So that's the Arkansas connection right there. And I hope that I don't get shut down for that, but I don't care. I'm showing the holstered gun, But yeah, I like that idea of a holster company gift card. So go check out some holster companies, and a $50 gift card, get them somebody a really, Gear Whores Anonymous. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say this. My next one's going to be a gun belt for sure. I run one of two. Okay, I run. There's a third one that I sometimes will run. But the two belts that I run mostly, I'm wearing. What am I wearing? Okay, right now I'm wearing Core Essentials, and I've got another one from Next Belt, and they're both ratchet belts. And I've really turned into really loving ratchet belts, especially when I've lost 30 pounds. I don't have to worry about cutting more holes or get a different size belt. A ratchet belt, and it's got a little bit Kydex in the belt, so it's built for holding a holster and heavy stuff around the belt. But if you're looking for a good concealed carry belt, that would be a great one. A gift card of some of these. But I'm going to recommend Core Essentials and Next Belt. They're both very, very good. I got a video that I did maybe 6-8 months ago about the two of them. They're both great. But if you're going to get a belt and you're going to carry, get something that is going to stand up, a concealed carry belt. And I really do. I have I don't know if you've ever tried a ratchet belt or not, but that's all I wear now are ratchet belts because they're so easy to take on and off. And it doesn't matter what size. It's every quarter of an inch is a new click. So it works for any one size, Go ahead.
I want to. I love the idea. I just never have.
Yeah.
The belts that I'm using are working fine, and it's just not prepared to spend the money to get one to try it out.
Honestly. I hear you. Rich says We the People holsters. I have a We the People holster for probably 7 or 8 of the guns that I actually will carry. I've kind of gone to for every gun that it's in, even if it's a long distance in rotation that I might carry a couple times a year. I've gone to all of those handguns now have a We the People holster and a Klingers. I love both of those, the way they feel. We the People is great. Now I have never tried. Sia is a veteran owned company as well. I have never tried any of their holsters, so I will probably have to go get one of those. But
there's a lot of great holster companies out there, though. A lot.
Yeah. Let's see here. John C says same here on the ratchet belts, likes them over Cobra belts. Yeah, I've got some Cobra belts from I've got a click belt from Cobra that's got a Cobra buckle. Love it. But like I said, this ratchet, man, it's easy, and it's one of those things where you gain weight, lose weight, you're good to go. Ellis is out there. What's up, Ellis? And I've gotten to the point where I hate belt buckles. I don't like having this thing. These things are easy. I'm going to be wearing a ratchet belt forever now at this point. Gizzard Gary says, if you want a gun belt that looks like a regular old belt, I really love mine from Farmington Hills Leather. Nice, sturdy, thick leather, under $50. There you go. And yeah, once again, you don't have to get a tactical belt. A great leather belt is wonderful. But make sure that it's a thicker leather that's going to be able to hold up over weight on the belt if you're going to carry. But yeah, these are things that most people don't think about is I'm going to conceal carry. That's great. What kind of belt you going to use? Because eventually that belt, if it's not, it's just going to kind of be weak and it start getting and all that. So
Well, for leather belts, I mean, I'll throw out our good friend
Sure.
Fredo, Star Leather USA. That's one of the belts I've got is a belt from him. He does a lot of leather work.
Now, snob out there says if you're a tightwad, just get a cheap ratchet strap.
That works too.
It'll work. Now, I won't go into it unless you want to, but it was last year. I think it was 2 years ago at SHOT Show. You had a belt blow up on you right in the middle.
No, I had
over. Yeah,
it wasn't a belt.
Shop trying to get a belt.
Well, it wasn't a belt. My the button on my pants wouldn't stay snapped. The button.
Oh, and you weren't wearing a belt or something.
Yeah, it was a snap, and I did not wear my belt that day, and it was fine, and I got the SHOT Show and went, early that morning, went to take a leak, and it never would snap back, and I'm like, holy crap, I can't, because with that open and not snapped, my zipper wanted to fall down because there was nothing to help keep that closed, right? Yeah. And so I had to go down and get a couple of lanyards and loop them together and give me a makeshift belt to then go down to
True Spec or
True
somewhere?
Spec and give them the what for, and of course they took care of me. But yeah,
Outlaw says a lot of people use. I love rigger belts. I've got several rigger belts. I don't wear them every day. I'll wear them to train and all that. Matter of fact, my battle belt is a rigger's belt, and it's.
Can we pivot from belts and holsters?
Let's do that. Yeah. Before we do that, I want to say a mandatory carry $5 super chat. Keep fighting. I make my own gear. Absolutely. I appreciate you, brother. Go check out, man. He does some pretty cool videos out there. So go check him out as well. Thanks, mandatory. I'm sorry. Go ahead now.
I was just going to say that with, kind of what I said earlier with, I've got some holsters and belts and stuff like that, but the vast majority of my firearms I don't carry. And I got to think that there's quite a few people that are the same way. They've got their range toys or whatever it might be. So cases, right?
Oh yeah.
Great idea. And one that comes to mind with me is our good friend AJ with Cedar Mill Fine Firearms. Got some great pistol cases and rifle cases. One that I literally beat, drowned, dropped from a cliff, you name it, and it held up. So even held up to the monsoon. The rifle not so much, but the case at least down there.
Well, you dropped it from like what, 10, 20 feet up in the air?
Probably close to 15 off of it. However high that tractor bucket would go, I picked it up and dumped it more than once. Ran over it with a quad, ran over it with a tractor, put it in the creek and submerged it, and you named it. And that thing's solid. And its pistol cases just as good.
Yeah. I'm kind of a case snob. That's the way I am. I do have some hard cases. I've got a Pelican case that I love, but I'm not a huge hard case kind of a guy unless I'm going to be traveling with a plane. But most of the time when I'm traveling, I'm going to be driving somewhere with firearms. So, but I do have a Pelican case, but I've got 4 or 5 Drago gear and
bags.
They're right up here, and I can fit like 3 or 4 rifles. I can't really turn that.
But you look them up.
Yeah, the Drago. Anyways, they're heavy duty with molly and pockets, and they're nylon. But I can fit 3 or 4 rifles, and until I get my safe done, that's kind of where I have a lot of my rifles. Instead of I'm out of room. So I've had to throw them into 3 or 4. And like I said, I can fit 3 or 4 rifles in each bag, and they're great. And they get a shoulder strap. They're really great. I think you saw one of them when I went down to shoot at Charlie's.
Oh yeah,
I think it had Drago. And they're wonderful bags, and they're not expensive, but they're about $80 to $100. Okay, but they're wonderful. You can find other bags or cases, but cases are great. I've got one that I usually use for mostly ammo. But you can put firearms in there, but a gun cabinet. It's not a safe. It's going to be fireproof and all that. But a gun cabinet, you can get those for under $100.
Yeah, just a lock-in cabinet.
Yeah, and it's got a key. And the one I've got, it's about, I don't know, 5 feet tall.
Probably, yeah.
Probably 2 feet tall, 2 feet wide or so. And it's got shelves, and you can put firearms if you want. But it's got, you can put ammo, you can put your holsters, you can put whatever. But those are really good for organization, all stuff like that.
Hackett Equipment makes one that they call, I think, the burrito, the rifle burrito or something. The cool thing about it, it's a bag, but it folds out into a shooting mat also. So dual purpose, which is another gift since we're talking about range or other things, would be a mat, of course. But there's your mat, your bag in the same package. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. And who was that?
Hackett Equipment.
I
had them on the podcast once upon a time back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to go check them out because I like the idea of the bag folding out into the shooting mat. That's ingenious.
Yep.
All right. So moving on for some fun, cool gun gifts. Something that I just picked up a couple weeks ago, about a week or so ago, that I've had a blast. You can see, I'm just gonna pull this out, but you're talking about something like gun skins, and I think these are pretty cool. It's just a vinyl wrap that come for handguns, ARs, and all that, and you have to trim it and cut it and all that. Well, it takes about half an hour, but they have about 10 different designs, from camouflage obviously to this. They have thin blue line stuff. Obviously I'm going Americana, but gun skins are really cool, and yes, they are fine holstering, reholstering. I mean, they're fine. And they also have like these AR mag skins. So when it goes in the rifle, it's not going to see, but all that's just going to stick out is this just a vinyl wrap skin. Kind of cool stuff. So, but yeah, stuff like that. And I think that the AR mag are like 10 or $15 for a pack of 3. I want to say that I spent like $25, something like that, on the pistol gun skin. I think maybe the AR skin will be around 50 or 60. I don't know. Go look up gun skins. But I've been interested in them for a while, and I had to spend some money, and that's one of the things that I did. But yeah, I wanted to test it out, do a review on them and all that. But they're really cool. They're just vinyl wraps, and you can heat them with a heat gun or a blowtorch, and you can stretch them and do whatever you want. Really, really cool. So, yeah. Midnight says, how do those hold up in the summer heat? I don't know. I just got them like a week or so ago, and it was 18 degrees this morning. So, it hasn't been through a summer heat, but all I've heard from people is that they're fine. You might not want to leave it sitting on a dashboard during the middle of summer, but why would you leave a gun sitting on a dashboard anyways, but yeah. And Andrew Russell, I think, is butt dialing in the chat, which is kind of cool.
That or he had a stroke. We hope he's okay.
Hope you're okay. Because he is definitely doing some butt dialing, it looks like. It is what it is. Someone was talking about coffee. And I know that I'm not a coffee guy, right? I'm not a coffee guy. I don't drink coffee or tea. I'm a soda guy. Water, milk.
If that's the nectar of the gods, I'm an atheist. Okay.
Right. But there are a lot of people that do drink coffee. And I know that there's a lot of stuff going around about the Black Rifle coffee. And I've never bought anything from them anyways. I don't drink coffee. Mm-hmm. But a friend of mine and friend of yours as well, Casey, from Antares, used to be over with Fiocchi and all that, but now he started a media company, and one of his clients is Operator Coffee, and veteran owned and all of that, but it's called Operator Coffee. If you're interested in a good 2A veteran coffee company and you don't want to go spend any money with Black Rifle, go check out Operator Coffee. Really, from what I understand, I think they're coming out with some hot chocolate, so I will get some of that stuff for sure.
Yeah, all about some hot cocoa, bro.
Absolutely. Adhira says AR Customs rail cover patches are awesome. They cost $20-$25 a piece and come in Picatinny, M-Lock, key mod. Definitely an awesome gift idea. Yeah, I never thought about that. That's not something, but that's a really cool thing. Now, Outlaw says that Black Rifle coffee, I'm not saying don't go buy them. I don't, go buy. I've heard Black Rifle coffee is good. I just know there's a lot of people that are way against Black Rifle coffee right now, and whatever. It is what it is. But all coffees matter, as Honcho says. It says all coffees matter, but yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that you can buy that are veteran owned or two-way gift ideas. I'm trying to think. There's some other stuff that I was going to talk about, but you have anything that you want to bring up that you think would be really kind of a outside the box gift idea?
You can get a lot of custom tumblers
Oh
like
yeah,
the Eddies and the Arctics and whatever. Those
sure.
are kind of cool.
Yep.
Um, so if you're talking about oddball things, we're talking about drinking coffee or doing other things. Coolers. I'm not a big cooler snob or anything else, but we've got some of the Ozark Trail Yeti knockoffs that work really well, and they're reasonably priced, and so a good cooler, especially during the summertime or whatever.
So
Knives.
one of the most knives out there. So somebody say, check it. Yow, what's up, knives? One of the most fun I had. This is probably 3 or 4 years ago. As a joke, Knives lives in California, and at the time, I think he was still maybe just out of high school or something, was living at home or whatever. Anyway, so I sent him some 50 BMG, a whole pack of like 10 or 12, like a dozen 50 BMG chocolates wrapped in gold. So there was 50 BMG in there and all that. And it came in like a little box, was an ammo can. It was awesome. They weren't cheap, but I sent it to him because I wanted him to have a nice Christmas, and he couldn't see 50 BMG in California. So I said, here's your 50 BMG. And I want to say that his mom like opened the package up and like just freaked out. I think he actually might have gotten in trouble. So I apologize for that, but I don't apologize for that because I loved having fun sending you 50 BMG through the mail to California, even though it was chocolate. But it was, I don't think they probably didn't last very long knowing Knives. This guy can devour some chocolate.
On the outside looking in, that was hilarious. I mean, I feel sorry for the trouble he might have got into, but come on, that was just funny.
Yeah, and they're out there. You can go find 50 BMG chocolates that come in little ammo cans. That might be a good little thing to, what is Snom saying? If you want to get someone a really good gift and get them ammo, you'll be looked at higher than baby Jesus with them right now. Right. This is true. Man, you're going to spend some money on ammo right now if you can find it.
We were talking about range stuff, and we kind of overlooked targets.
Oh, heck yeah. Targets. Go for it.
Whether you're talking steel or paper. I've got some really good relationships with a couple of companies in both. But I will say this. We were talking about big box stores. I would not buy my steel targets from a big box store. They are not rated to what they say they're rated.
Yeah, if you can go find an AR 500 6-inch steel plate at Walmart for $4, really think that's good stuff? Come on.
Yeah. And I had, with high caliber targets, I've had them on the podcast a couple of times talking about the different steels and the ratings and how they get away with, companies get away with doing that. But yeah, I mean, shop. I mean, obviously they're going to be heavy, so if you can shop more local or whatever, that's the best way to go. But good steel, man, it'll last a long time, and finding a place that's got a good variety of paper targets, maybe get different games you can play or whatever. Actually have the gift that keeps on giving, right? Use it out on the range all year long.
Yeah. And here's kind of explaining, and I believe if I know what it's talking about, it's either M-Lock or whatever, but it's a little Picatinny rail that you can mount on your rifle. It's got the Velcro, and you can put a patch on there and stuff, and it's pretty cool. I think that's what he's talking about, but pretty cool stuff. Yeah, targets are great. And here's a great thing about targets. Most gun shops are going to sell paper targets. They're going to sell probably some steel targets and all that. They're going to get like the
and they're usually quality stuff
that will spin. They'll do the reaction targets and all that, and they'll get them for cheap. Just go buy them from your local gun shop. Go and just spend $10 and load up on targets.
Well, and your local gun shops are gonna. We talk about the cheap steel and staying away from that. Your local gun shops are probably sourced with somebody local that does a really good AR 500. So you're not gonna have that issue usually.
Absolutely. Trying to think here. So let's kind of start going into some outdoor stuff. Cause I know that a lot of people, and I have been too, interested about more outdoor stuff, and not survivalists and all that, but just outdoor stuff. But we're talking about, we had a great podcast a couple weeks ago on a lot of different things, but like water purification tablets or water purification
Life straws,
filters,
even something.
light
Yeah.
straws. Yeah, for sure. Fire starters, maybe go, and if you're thinking about doing a family gift, go buy like a tent, you know, and you're
Generator.
a generator, but like a tent, and say, I know that you guys might not like this, the kids might not like this, the wife might like this, but if you buy a tent for Christmas, maybe in the spring when it gets a bit warmer, maybe every now and then, once a month, you can spend the night out in a tent and build a campfire. Teach the kids how to do build a fire outside and make it fun, where you could, do s'mores and hot dogs, invite the
Oh yeah.
kids friends over and all that, but utilize stuff like that to where, or maybe that transforms into you guys going hiking as a family, or going camping out as a family somewhere else, or whatever. Stuff like that are wonderful. But yeah, start getting some outdoor supplies, like you said, water purification of any kind. A generator would be wonderful, because not only could you use that if you're on the road, if you are on that, but hooking up to the house, and if your electricity goes out and you have a generator with some diesel or whatever, you might not be able to light up the whole house, but if you could light up or get enough juice to get your refrigerator, your oven, or your stove if it's electric, or your heater, or something like that, or even if it's just pure and simple being able to plug in your electronics to charge them, to be able to contact and have communications to everyone else. Generators are great. That's one thing that we don't have, that I have always thought about getting, and it's always put it off. But
A
I really,
generator. A generator is one of them things for most people that seems like a major purchase. And with technology and everything else, manufacturing and everything else nowadays, it's really not. The generator I got was about the oldest generator I've got. It's about
Mhm.
$300. Is what I gave for that thing. Uh,
That's not at all.
roughly, and I've had it for years. I bought it before. See, Katrina came through. What did we have? What did we have? Ike, was Ike before or after Katrina? I
I
don't
think I
remember.
was before
So we
Katrina.
had Rita, Ike, and then Katrina, right, or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't even
Yeah.
remember. But um, yeah, I've had it for, you know how long ago that's been, but
Yeah.
I've had it for that long. I bought it before that. Still going strong. Still does what it needed to do. It was a $300 investment. So it
Mhm.
seems like $300 for some people is a lot of money. Let's face it.
Sure.
But then expand that out over however many years that's been, right? And it's for the peace of mind and the use that you're going to get out of that. It's not much money. It's really not, and maintenance is super low. I mean, a quart of oil every now and then and some gas. That's it.
Yeah. And generators are kind of like firearms in a sense, where the idea is, I'd rather have them and not need it
Yeah.
than need it and not have it. Like you said, the vast majority of that generator's life is going to be sitting
Oh
doing
yeah.
nothing,
Yep.
but it's not there to be used all the time. And all that. Look, 223 knives out there, and you can speak about this because you were just talking about this on a post, but a
Right.
shooting rest,
Oh yeah. All
shooting
kinds, man.
rest, all kinds of different plastic, metal, rifle, pistol, all sort, parallax. No, I mean, there's all sorts of different rests out there.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Those are wonderful as well.
I've got a plethora at this point of rests. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna start. Well, if I can get over the YouTube hurdles I'm dealing with now, I may become the shooting rest channel before it's over with. As many as I've got, but I've got them all the way from the cheapest of the Caldwell, like the Pistolero, all the way
Mhm.
up to the what am I thinking? The Granddaddy, the Ransom International.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, rests are amazing for doing all kinds of things, gunsmithing work, cleaning, uh, all the way down to rests that you use on a shooting bench, and
Mhm.
presiding in and various tasks. The Tipton
Absolutely.
gun vise, we're talking about rest, and the Tipton gun vise is one that's really similar because it's got cushioned clamps that you can actually clamp your firearm into place while you're cleaning or working on it or doing other things. And
Mhm.
so yeah, they definitely have a place. They do need, for the person that lives in the studio apartment or the one bedroom apartment, maybe not a the best thing in the world to have because they do take up some real estate. But if you've got a house with an extra room or closet or garage or whatever, then having a few of those around to help with those various tasks, yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
No doubt. Now, I missed this one. King Lowell out there. Welcome, King. It says Trojan Firearms, and I don't know anything about Trojan Firearms. So, King, if you're still out there, let us know what I guess I can Google it, but let us know what Trojan Firearms, who they are, what they do, and all that, because I don't remember ever hearing their name. So let us know what that is.
A lot of tactical, kind of high end pew pews. Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of Trojan Tactical or Trojan Firearms, so I'll have to look into those. But yeah, I've never heard of them. So cool. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. We're going to go down the road of tourniquets, first aid kits. Setting a backpack. Start getting some stuff for people for a go bag or EDC bag, or it doesn't have to be for firearms. It could be literally for like I said, first aid kits, tourniquets. Portable chargers, solar powered portable chargers. I did an article. I'm going to pimp this out, and I forgot about it until I started talking about this. But I wrote and it's relatively long, but it's really I thought it was a pretty decent article. But I wrote an article over on Gear Report, and it's kind of about EDC bag and different items you can put in there. But it's talking about obviously the bag itself, different kind of bags there are, water, food stuff that you can get, MREs, gummy bears. I'm a big gummy bear guy, hot tamale guy, but those kind of candies that are going to last a while. But you talk about portable chargers, and there's so many different portable chargers you can get. I like Anchor. That's just me. I've always used Anchor. They're a little bit more, not crazy expensive, but they're a little bit more expensive. Black Web? I have some Black Web stuff, and they work great for a lower. If you're going to get a lower price, go Black Web. They're really, really good. But Anchor, maybe a little step up, maybe a mid level. But I've got a bunch of Anchor stuff, and they're great. But they've got just regular portable chargers. Then they have one that are solar that will recharge themselves instead of having to plug them into a wall at night. They'll recharge themselves. Some of them have solars that fold out and have 4 or 5 solar panels that really help you charge. And then there's some of these USB banks that are kind of like mini generators, but they're portable chargers. But you can plug in like AC, DC plugs or USB and all that, but it's a portable charger as well. So, stuff like that people don't think about being put in your car and stuff. Start thinking about supplies that you should have on you at all time. First aid kits, tourniquets, and a great thing you can do to get cheap first aid kits or put together your own is go buy a few different doctor's offices in your hometown and say, hey, look, I'm trying to put together a really nice first aid kit to take in the car with me when I go out and all that. I want to make sure I have everything. Do you have any gauze or bandages or alcohol wipes or Band-Aids or ibuprofen samples? Doctor's offices have all sorts of samples of over-the-counter drugs. Right. And you can put together, if you go visit 3 or 4 doctors, you can put together a really nice for free first aid kit. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
You were saying that, and something dawns on me when you're talking about plugging into the car, and we were talking about a generator. So a lot of people, their situation, whether they live in an apartment or whatever it might be, may not be able to do that. Look into an inverter for your vehicle, because you essentially have a generator. If you own a vehicle, you basically own a generator right now. It's just a matter of having something to convert that, right? And so a really good inverter, and you could technically run an extension cord from your vehicle into the window of the house and plug something in or whatever it might be. So
as a matter of fact, I've got one. It costs about $50, so it's a little bit pricey, but not terribly considering what I'm getting ready to explain. And one end, it plugs into your cigarette lighter in your car, and it's got about a 6 or 8 foot cord, and it's a box, about that big, and it's got on it, it's got like 2 or 3 USB cords and then 2 AC cords. One of them with the 3-pronged, one's a 2-pronged. But you can plug stuff into that and charge your computer, an extension cord to run into the house or whatever, and it plugs into your cigarette lighter. And you're able to run not just USB stuff, but you're able to run AC powered supplies. And like I said, it's got 2 of them, one with the 2-pronged AC and one with the 3-pronged. So exactly, you could turn that into your extension cord.
You've got to watch the wattage output, right? Sure. And so, I mean, if you're going to run anything crazy, you're going to have a really high wattage, and they get quite expensive when you get up like big rigs. A lot of big rigs
yeah,
run, even multiple inverters on a lot of them.
no
And
doubt.
they get up into in the price of a generator, right? A lot of times with
Mhm.
that. So if you're looking at that option, then again, unless you're living in an apartment or dorm or some kind of situation where you
Mhm.
can't have a generator, but at some point it makes no sense to go inverter. Just go with the generator.
Sure. 223 says he has a Class A driving test to take tomorrow. Hey, good
Nice.
luck on that, bro. Yeah, good luck. Let us know how you do. Looking forward to hoping to hear that you pass it, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I know
Avoid the
you studied it, you know.
avoid the orange cones, man. You'll be all right.
Right. John C. Another. How did I even bring this up? A gun cleaning kit.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've got, and I use a Plano tackle box, and it's a big tackle box, and it's right over here on my shelves. But I've got all the gun cleaner stuff, and I've got all sorts of stuff. But I've got patches and rags and bore snakes and rods and anything and everything, but I keep it all in a big tackle box, and that's something you can go down to any Walmart and find yourself a tackle box, and like you said, start putting together rags and a mat and all sorts of stuff. Absolutely, a gun cleaning kit is a perfect gift. How do I not remember to do that? That's fantastic. Yeah.
You talk about mats, and I will say this: I had an Amazon company, and I don't even remember the name. Riseek, Raiseek, I think, sent me a silicone cleaning mat. Most of the cleaning mats, old school, we see is like a piece of felt or something, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna tell
the one I
you
use over
what.
here. Typically, that I use is on top of a dresser over here. It's felt with rubber on the bottom so it doesn't slide.
Yeah, dude, the silicone mats are the bee's knees. I'm here to tell you.
So,
And I'm sure other companies make them or whatever, but I mean, you could spill whatever on that, and it just wipes right off. It dries right off. I mean, they're amazing. Those are cool too. The Tech Mat stuff.
The Tech Mat's Red 92, and it's got all the parts and all that. But I use it as I put this here is I don't. It's a great mouse pad,
Right.
So right here, I'm just using it as a mouse pad and all that. But it's kind of a desk thing right here. But it's awesome, yeah. But I've got several Tech Mats. They're wonderful as well. But yeah, I need to go check out that silicone thing. That sounds pretty cool.
They are, and
the one over here is the felt, and then the rubber or whatever on the bottom.
This one's got raised areas so that if you do spill, it collects it. You know what I'm saying? It won't run off. It collects it in there, and it's got certain areas that have magnets as well.
Huh.
Right, for like your small parts. Well,
do you remember how do you spell that company again?
Raiseek is the company that sent me one.
Okay, I'll have to go check them
out.
Amazon or something.
I guess Ray like Raiden, R-A-I, and then Seek,
sure.
Raiseek, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, 223 said just bought for get home back of the first two. They have 2 first aid kits in it so far. Perfect. Yeah, like I said, and you don't have to go crazy. Start out small, but I think that if you're gonna do a bag, whether you carry it with you on your person as you go out in town, or you leave it in your car or whatever, the first 3 items, I would say. If I had to go 4, let's go 4. I'm gonna stop at 4. First 4 items that you need to get: water, some kind of food or snack, whether it's an MRE and we're not talking about survival for 3 days. We're talking about getting home or whatever.
Cheap power bar or something, man.
Power bars, granola bars. I use gummy bears.
Yep.
Stuff like that are going to last a while. But you're looking for a snack. If you get stuck on a highway or something and you're not going to move for 2 hours, having a couple bottles of water. I have on my backpack, it's got the water carrier. So I got a bottle in each of them, one in there. And I've got a big old thing of gummy bears and one MRE. And then first aid kit. So those: water, food, first aid kit, tourniquet. If you get those 4 things, you're good to go to start out with. Anything else is great. Power supplies, all that stuff. But food, water, and medical. If you can get those things in a bag, you've really gonna help prepare for something that goes on. So, let's see here. Now, T23 says, I have a contact with Raiseek. If you want me to send it to, now I'll buy one. I have no problem buying one. I just, I don't know. 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 I don't That sounds cool. So, like I said,
Yep.
I'll probably, they can't be too expensive, so I'd rather support a business and all that. I
So
don't
we
have contact with them, so I'm not going to reach out to them just to get something. I'll just go buy one,
right. So we kind of went down this direction anyway. So
Yeah,
we're talking about vehicle in a way and stuff like that, and we go a lot of different directions with this, from multi tools to straight up tool kits. But
no doubt.
tools of any kind are never a bad gift idea, I don't think.
Well, that should always be in your car. I'm a big
Yeah.
believer, at least having a ratchet set, a multi tool, jumper cables. That should be in your car, whether you're trying to be a get home or not. That should
Yeah.
always be in your
Just
car.
make sure that if make sure that you've got the appropriate metric or standard according to what you
Yeah.
drive, right? That's the biggest thing that I would advise. Having both is preferred. But yeah, you can get for $100 nowadays, man. You can get one heck of a toolkit that doesn't take up a whole lot of space, quite honestly.
Yeah, I think that
And for even less than that, you can get multi tools that do
a lot
of what for light work anyway.
Most,
You could get a multi tool that does pretty much everything a toolkit's you're gonna use for.
yeah, my ratchet set, it was a little bit more expensive. Not crazy over the top expensive, but a little bit more. And the reason why I got it is it's got inside, it has 2 rows, and it's got imperial on one side and metric on the other.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter if it's your car or you having to work on someone else's car, it's going to give you 8 or 10 different sizes in imperial and metric, to where that ratchet will be able to really work on seemingly any car that's broken down, whether it's yours or somebody else's. You never know. So
Yep.
now John C out there is kind of funny. What's up with Marines and gummy bears? Honestly, I can tell you, I was never really a big gummy bear fan growing up. I mean, I didn't dislike them, but I'll tell you why, at least in my experience, and I can't speak for anybody else, but in my experience, why gummy bears and Marines seem to be a good fit is when you go out on patrol or whatever, you're going to need to snack on something. Okay. So you can get a big old bag of what they call it? Is it Garbro, or what is it? Harbo or Habro?
Harbo's the name brand. Harbo's the name brand.
Harbo. Okay, so whatever brand you want to get,
Yeah.
but they come in big bags, or they come in individual small bags, like maybe 10 of them. But you can put those in your cargo pockets in your camis, okay, or your pack or whatever. You can fit, and those are great to snack on. 2 things: 1, they're going to last forever. 2, they don't make noise when you eat them. They don't crunch or anything. 3, they don't have a smell. And I know it sounds weird, but when you're talking about being in a patrol and you're outside the wire and you're in a hostile environment and you're in a war hole, or you're camping out like I did, living in fucking trees for a week at a time, you don't want to make a whole lot of crunching sound, and you don't want to have something that's going to put off a lot of odor. They can find your ass. So we were trying not to be found. Okay. So we had to kind of do stuff that wasn't going to be smelling, could last a long time, doesn't crunch when you eat it, and all that. So gummy bears, and I didn't find this out. This was taught to me by my NCOs. It's been passed along through whatever. And I can't speak for other people, but that's one of the reasons why we use gummy bears is it gives you, it sounds funny, but gummy bears give you a really good tactical advantage if you need a snack on something. Okay. Interesting. Sorry about that. Good question though. Good question. 223 says Harbor Freight has good tools at a good price. There's not a Harbor Freight anywhere around me, so I've never been to Harbor Freight. And I know everyone loves them, or they talk about them all the time. I've never been to one, so I can't wait to find one. I'm sure there's one in Dallas. Next time I go to Dallas, I'll probably stop in. I've never been to a Harbor Freight, so I have no idea what they're like in there. I know you shop there quite a bit, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. 223 says keep an impact to and your truck with a good battery. Yep, for sure. Gummy bears, tree people food. So that goes back. Man, I forgot about the tree people. So the tree people was a kind of a gun channels thing that people started calling me the tree people. And I always used to say hashtag tree people lives matter and all that.
Yep.
If you remember the tree people, that had to do with what I did in the Marine Corps. So yeah, I forgot about the tree people. I'm glad Midnight Range brought that up. It's been a while since I've heard tree people. So yeah, that's kind of what we did.
Kicking it old school.
Kicking it old school. We've been going almost an hour and a half. So do you have anything else that you can think of that we may not even covered or even thought of? There's a lot of stuff we can go down some. I don't know. We can stay as long as we want, but
I'll throw this.
Sure.
I'll throw this out there, including your channel, my channel. I know Budget has done some stuff. I know Sarge with C4 Defense has done some stuff. There's tons and tons of creators around that have put together some pretty interesting. And everybody's list is different. That's what's cool.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, just go in and go through all the channels that you normally watch that you probably see out there in the live chat now, so forth and so on, and a lot of great ideas out there for sure.
Yeah, and like I said, you can get some of this stuff for cheap. And the great thing is, if you have Prime over on Amazon Prime, you can still order. For the next couple of days, it's still guaranteed by Christmas. So stocking stuff or stuff like that. I think that the gift card idea still is, and not just like the Visa gift card, but like a gift card from an actual business is a great way to do that. Do you want to go down a rabbit hole real quick?
Always.
Awkward Ford travesti.
Is he asking which one? Because that is another thing we haven't talked about, but gifting a membership to a 2A organization.
We want to go down a rabbit hole because that's something that a lot of people do is they give memberships to different 2A organizations.
Absolutely.
Let's dive down this one. If he's asking which one, GOA or FPC, two different companies, organizations.
Different things doing two different things.
FPC is more like the SAF, which is the Second Amendment Foundation. They do a lot more stuff in the judicial system, in the courts. GOA is more of kind of like the NRA, where it's not necessarily, they do get involved in court cases, but they're more
legislative and state
stuff. Yeah. Where the FPC and SAF are more in the court system. So it really depends on which one. They're both equally as important. So I would say, if you're asking me which one's better, yes.
Yeah, both.
Join both of them. Join both of them. Yeah. Yes.
I would go as far as to say, before you consider those, are you a member of your state level organization?
Yeah, absolutely.
So look at that before you look at any of the national stuff. Is where I would go with it.
Yeah,
and maybe he is.
And maybe he is, absolutely. I'm a member of GOA, SAF, and FPC, amongst several others.
Yeah.
But of the three "quote unquote" big ones now, join all of them. They're all pretty inexpensive. I want to say that, like, you can get for like $100 a lifetime membership to most of them now, maybe less than that. So, anyways, let's see here. It was when I got them. They might be more now. That was a few years back. But anyways, I love the idea of gifting memberships to these organizations to someone, and or making a donation in someone's name. That's kind of a cool thing too. Making a donation to a charity, and remember and honoring or whatever in someone. Like if, let's say, like my father passed away in February. Making a donation to, if I want to do something that'd be kind of cool, would be making a donation to the American Stroke, because he died basically of a stroke and all that. Making a donation to an organization that deals with strokes and all that, but making the donation in my father's name. That's kind of a cool thing, It
sounds corny. It sounds corny, but one of the cool things is the whole name a star type deal. Like the star registry. That's kind of cool, because think about it for a minute. Think about it seems arbitrary, right? But now with technology and the way we're looking out into space and we're able to do things, what if they found an Earth-like planet around a star, and that star was named after you? And the next thing you know, or your daughter or your nephew or whatever it might be, right? And the next thing you know, all the news is talking about the Andrew, class star, whatever, and the planets that they found that supposedly life's on or something. You know what I'm saying? It could be it could end up being a really out of the box gift after the fact. It seemed kind of meaningless at first.
No doubt. So gun cleaners,
Absolutely.
packages like that, the lube, something like that. Very simple stocking stuffer, simple stocking stocking stuffer. God, it's hard. I'm not very
Now, I
smart.
didn't get a note with my little bitty thing like that. Is that something they are selling?
I don't know. Maybe they just send it to us. I don't know if they're, but if they are, even if they're not, you can buy a bottle of that.
It goes
$10.
forever. That's
It
what I'm
goes.
saying. Even that little one's
Yep,
going
I
to go
still got
forever.
like I've been using it for a couple of
Yeah.
years. Just got about
Yeah.
that left, for
Yep.
sure. I don't know if they're selling those or not, but go get yourself a gun cleaners patch. Come and clean it, and all that. Something simple as this, and I'm not going to go down too many rabbit holes, but hold on, because I will forget this. You have a better memory than I do.
Go ahead.
If and when you go to McDonald's and they're allowing, some places are allowing them, some people are, but if and when McDonald's opens up or Burger King or wherever opens up and people can go inside and order food, and you see a veteran, especially an old crusty veteran from Korea, Vietnam, you see an old guy that's maybe got a veteran hat on or whatever. Talk, if you're behind them, kind of wave down the cashier and pay for their breakfast, or they're getting a cup of coffee and and a hash brown or something. Pay for a meal or something. Pay it forward. I think that's what they call. But yeah, you like my stocking cap? Do you? It's just a little Marine Corps. Yeah, thanks. I like it too. Very, very warm. Needed it today. Cold as hell today. Snowed last night. Actually was spitting snow today. It was 18 degrees last night. It was just cold, man. Just miserable. No, it was Sunday night that it snowed. Was it Sunday night that I texted you said it was snowing?
I think so. Yeah.
It was Sunday night that it snowed. Big old, like I'm not seriously, like $50 size snowflakes. I'd never seen them that big before in my life. And they didn't stick, but it snowed for about 2 or 3 hours. But they had the like $50 snowflakes, and it was like the biggest snowflakes I've ever seen. It was really kind of cool. So the last thing I want to talk about is you wanted to talk about something also. Go ahead. I forgot.
Yeah, you didn't give me a couple extra things now because you mentioned McDonald's and it's Christmas time, and I thought you were going to talk about the ultimate Christmas present, which is the McRib, which is available now at McDonald's. So just saying, just throwing that out there. But no, something on you talked about with the old crusty dude. Another thing too is just in the spirit of Christmas and giving and passing it on and everything else. If you've never been in line at a drive-through and you pull up and somebody's paid for your meal,
pay the next one.
That's amazing. That's amazing, right? Be the one that starts that. If you pull up, it most of the time that does not happen. Let's be honest. But the next time you drive up and go, I want to pay for the guy behind me, right?
Andrew's having another stroke out there. Speaking of them.
And but anyway, what I was gonna mention before you mentioned the fast food thing and the generosity. One amazing gift, and not just because he's one of our friends, but it's a cool item. It was the decks of cards over on gearwebsites.com that G-Webs has. I did stocking stuffers with those cards, and I don't remember I think it was the Wild West or whatever, Guns of the Wild West deck, or I think it was. And oh my God, they freaked out over those, how cool they were and everything else.
They are cool.
You talk about a unique gift and also helping out a fellow channel, and no pun intended, gun channel and so forth. But yeah, those are amazing gifts.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're going to go into a little bit about self-promotion over on the website, ghosttacticalproductions.com. And I'm going to give Clover some time to talk about here. We do have, I've designed a lot of different shirt and sweatshirt and different designs in the last couple of months. Really, I think they're pretty cool designs. Go over there, you can click on them, or you can just Google Spreadshirt Ghost Tactical, and our Spreadshirt store will come up, and all that. So you can pull that up and order if you'd like to. And not just Ghost Tactical, but we've got all sorts of really cool, I think they're really cool designs. Go check that out. And then Clover, I think, has a Spreadshirt as well. Do you want to talk about maybe some of the designs you have up there?
Man, I haven't curated my spreadshirt in forever, so I don't even know honestly what's up there. But I know that got some patches, some caps, some other things in the regular swag store. So, but I invite people again to go to Budgets and Sarge with C4 Defense and Snob and
Yeah,
anybody else that's got websites and swag stores. As I said, with G Webs and Gear websites, a lot of unique gift ideas can be had that way, and you're helping support channels process.
absolutely. I'm trying to find something because I want to say um, okay. So tomorrow, Clover, go check the mail. Just saying. Merry Christmas. I think it says delivered tomorrow. So I got you something. I saw it and I thought of you immediately.
Well, I
And was like,
appreciate
oh,
that. I guess technically you got yours early, huh, Mr. Ham Radio?
I did. I did. I did. Thank you for that. And that was awesome, by the way. Yeah, he got me a membership, I guess is what it is, for hamradioprep.com. And that's we're both using that amongst other things, but that's the main one that I'm using to get ready for my technician's test for the ham radio. Ham radio. I didn't even think about ham radio, man.
Heck yeah.
$25 will get you a Baofeng UV5R or a lot of different things are up. You can go spend $1,000 on a ham radio, but a ham radio is great to have. You get your technician's license. It costs like $15, but yeah. So we started doing that. All of a sudden I get this email or text from Clover, and he had given me a gift of this membership into Ham Radio Prep, which is helping me get that. So awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I saw something and it's nothing big. It's nothing like crazy or awesome or anything, but I saw it and I was like, on multiple levels, you'll appreciate it. So
Nice.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. I think it says this will be arriving tomorrow, but if you see something come in, you're like, I didn't order this. Probably
happens all the time, bro. Happens all the time. At least yeah. So yeah.
Well, the reason why I want to say that is I didn't want you to think that it wasn't yours. Like, this is not mine. Send it back or whatever. I don't think you're going to send it back.
Right.
But there you go.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, we get things from companies and stuff all the time that we talked about a year ago and don't even remember.
Get from a company though. Typically. Right.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Maybe.
Well, I get stuff even from my kids and stuff now that
no doubt.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck? I spent.
It didn't give me a choice. It didn't give me a chance to leave like a card or whatever. It didn't. So I didn't have that opportunity to do that.
Well, the last time I got something from Amazon, I got a rest. I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
That came and I'm like, okay, who sent this? Was it Gear Report? Was it this? How, I didn't order this rest. The company must have sent it to me. And it come to find out, my brother had gotten it for me and sent it to me for my birthday, and there was no note in it. There was supposed to be, he said, but it took me forever. It took me days to figure out, like, where did this come from? So,
that's kind of
first world problems, right, man? First world problems. Getting gifts. I
remember that story. That's why I told you.
Yeah.
If you get something weird today, it says tomorrow, but it might be fine.
No telling. Yeah.
Weather pending, I've got something coming in from a company that sent me a really badass, and I cannot wait to review this. It's badass. And it was supposed to be here today. As of yesterday, it said arriving tomorrow. They sent me the tracking number and all that. I was like, oh hell, this is amazing. This could be so badass. And then so this morning I'm checking on, make sure it's on truck for delivery, and it says delayed. Check back tomorrow for updated. And I was like, oh hell no, it's supposed to be here today. It's supposed to be on truck for delivery. Now it just says delayed. Check back tomorrow with updates. And I was like, son of a bitch. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to this thing is going to be crazy cool. It's not a firearm or anything. It's cool. I can't wait to kind of start showing this stuff off. But yeah, there'll be some cool ways to maybe test this stuff and all that. But yeah, just a cool product. Company's called Juggernaut. And so you can go Google Juggernaut, and you might be able to kind of figure out what it is. But I don't want to give it too much away. But the company's called Juggernaut. Really cool stuff.
I like the
For
Marvel character, right?
the tactical kind of a guy, may not be an Elmer Fudd type product, but for the
Yeah,
tactical
okay.
guy.
I see how you're gonna be. I see how you're gonna be.
No, I'm just saying is if you go search Juggernaut, like tactical stuff, tactical gear,
Yeah.
you'll kind of see what kind of products they are. And it's not what you're thinking, I promise you. But then you'll see, like, yeah, I got no use for that. Maybe you do.
Well,
Maybe
you
you do.
realize Santa Claus is not a FUD, right? He would shoot the crap out of them reindeer if he was.
True, true. What about flashbang shells or grenades? Hell yeah. I mean, do you need an excuse to buy those if you can get them?
Why not?
Why not? I don't know if you guys saw, I put out a fun little post about Santa Claus being called into active service for the next for the next week or so. Had some fun with that one, so I hope you guys saw that. You're talking about Santa Claus and all that, but Sergeant Major Claus, call sign Santa, and I think I had all the different reindeer I had on with ranks and all that stuff, and
Nice.
so we had some fun with that. But yeah, for sure. Trying to think here. I got nothing else. You got anything else that you want to bring up before we head out? Not closing stuff, plug stuff, but like product or anything? Anything that you can think of to say, man, we need to talk about this?
No, I mean, I'm sure we're forgetting all kinds of things. I mean, good Lord, the gift ideas, right? So,
Yeah.
I would go back to probably what we started with, and I would say again, shop local if you can, because those are the ones that are hurting the worst, and you know, and sometimes those are really good deals right now. With the example I give of this restaurant, buy $20 worth of gift certificates, get 10, for free. I mean, good Lord, even if you use them yourself. Um, so yeah, big shout out promotion for small businesses. They need it. And the way things look like they're going right now, I'm not the gloom and doom type, but it looked like, we're, even though vaccines and other things, I've seen UPS planes and trucks and all this stuff, all these millions of vaccines going out, and yet they're talking about closing things down again, and I'm like, this makes no sense. It's crazy. It's killing our small businesses. So great time to support them right now.
Yeah. John sees that Juggernauts are. I think that when I say Google Juggernaut Tactical, don't do that because that takes you to another company. Google Juggernaut Case, CASE. They're phone cases, but they're badass. And you can attach them to plate carriers, all sorts of really cool stuff. But it's called the Juggernaut Case. They have phone cases, but they're really awesome cases. A lot of different applications you can use them for. A lot of different styles of cases and all that. But they're sending me one. It's called the Impact Case, and it's going to have like this mount that goes through the molly that I can hook up to a plate carrier and have it on there, and I can fold it down and have GPS or ATAC running. I do run ATAC sometimes. But it'll hook here and has Velcro. You can put my patch on it, and it'll just look like a normal thing. And then all of a sudden I can flip it down. I can go to ATAC, or you can go to Google Maps or whatever, GPS or maps or whatever. And
or would or would you get into ham, even use it for some of that application and stuff
absolutely.
Too, right?
So, but yeah, it's a really cool, called Juggernaut Case. They're sending me a couple products, and going to be awesome. Wants to know what was Rudolph's rank. Rudolph was a private, and if I remember, I don't know exactly how I word it, but Rudolph is going to be available to be used, but he has to go through SEER school. He's failed the first couple of times of SEER school because of a medical condition with his nose. So he is going to be available, but he's going to have to get through SEER school pretty quickly. But it's private Rudolph. Yeah, for sure. I had a good time with it. Go check it out. It's fun. Yeah. So we're going to kind of start sweeping the floor and getting the hell out of here. As Clover likes to say, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. But yeah, Clove, why don't you kind of plug the channel, anything projects that you have coming? I know you got some stuff that have just come in or getting ready to come in. You got some cool stuff coming down the line as far as reviews and products. Then you get some podcasts coming up and all of that. Why don't you plug what you got going on?
So first of all, I mean, a great chat tonight. Hopefully we give somebody a lot of ideas, and a lot of people are going to get, some business and some support that really need it. Hopefully. Um, I've got an issue, so I want to first say that you can um, video drop today on Full 30, Brighteon, YouTube, Gunstreamer, all alternative platforms to here on
Except for
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah.
Everywhere but YouTube because I'm having some content issues right now. I can't really speak about it publicly, but I'm having some content issues with YouTube. Yes, I'm working with my connections and we're working on some things, but so I went ahead and dropped it elsewhere. That's why those places are there. And
Yep.
so I've done that. If you want to check that out, then yeah, just look me up on one of those alternative sources. Again, Full 30, Gunstreamer, YouTube, or Brighteon. Uh, Rumble, as we said earlier, I've tried playing around with Rumble. I don't understand it. I don't get it. There's no way to find content. Any of those other places, you can search my channel name or whatever, and I'm there. But yeah, in the meantime, over the next week, maybe or so, look for content there instead of YouTube, unfortunately. I'm not going away. I'm not quitting YouTube. Nothing like that. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a hiatus, a few days, I think. Um, with that being said, yeah, I've got some cool stuff. I did a what's in a box the other day. Obviously, it was a Gerson box where people know that, but I haven't given it away. I do
Remind me
have
of a
as
really dirty SNL skit in the
I
box.
right. I had a we talking earlier about all the rests that I've got plural, which one of those videos on the high school rest dropped today on those alternative platforms. But I've got several rests I've got to look at and stuff like that. There's several things going on the channel over the next few days, weeks, and even months. I think 2021 2020 has been kind of crazy. I think we're starting to finally get some bearing, especially now that Shot Show is in the can. We know that it's not happening in the dumper. I should say, not happening. We know that we have to pivot. We've been making strides to try to pivot as far as our content and other things. And I look forward to what everybody is going to do in 2021 without Shot Show and stuff like that. I'm optimistic that we can still make things work. So
Yeah.
yeah, if you're out there, if you are another creator, we'd love to have you on Thursday night. Keep the faith, hang on. We're gonna make it. We're gonna be okay. And yeah, go support all the channels that are doing good stuff, including Ghost, including Snob and Gizzard Gary and Sergeant C4 Defense and Obnoxious One and
Budget.
Defense Dad and Artec and Daughters and blah 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 blah. I can go on and on and on.
Budget guns and gear and yeah,
Absolutely.
everyone. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I had an interesting phone call today. It was a set. I mean, I knew it was coming. It wasn't like it was a surprise. I had it coming with the company, and we're going to do some work together over the next year or so, and products for holsters and rigs for competitive shooting and tactical and outdoors and all sort of stuff. And it's gonna be fun that I'm actually going to be part of maybe a team that might actually help them take their company from a very specific genre in the firearms and expand it. Because we were talking, I was like, you can use that same stuff for this, and this. They're like, yeah, and they're like, yeah, you can, and all that. And there might actually be a Ghost Tactical line of this coming down the line. So it's kind of
Cool.
really cool. Obviously can't talk about it because it's not a done deal, but we had about an hour conversation with them today, and it was really fun to talk about possibilities and all that. And all this came from, going back where this came from, was the lack of having industry shows and SHOT Show and
Yep.
and they need to start doing stuff, and they need to get their presence out there and start putting more stuff and all of that. And so I think I'll be part of that. That'd be kind of a really, really cool project to be a part of, and being there when you're talking about designs. And I'm not going to be the one designing stuff, but saying when they're saying, like, when you're looking for a holster, what are you looking for? For training or for Red Dawn or for competitive shooting, is there a way to kind of make a holster or a belt or a setup or drop leg or mag pouches that could be utilized for all three and not have to have three different loadout belts or whatever? So it's that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of cool. That'll be coming down the first of the year. I'll start talking about it. They're sending me a bunch of stuff now to start playing around testing and giving some ideas and feedback and saying, I like this, I don't like this, maybe change this. Instead of maybe level 3 retention, maybe be like level 2 retention, all that kind of stuff. So that stuff's going to start happening here in the next few months. So that'll be really, really fun to talk about. But yeah, you were talking about SHOT Show, and that was, this kind of all started was the conversation of some of these companies, especially maybe the smaller ones that were maybe going to be doing the dungeon or the pop-up review or something. These companies, now they're not going to get that exposure at SHOT Show. Some of these companies are like, what the hell are we going to do? You know, we need to start getting some exposure. So if you're a content creator out there, you're going to start maybe seeing some companies reach out that you might not have ever heard of, or you might have heard of, but never really thought about working with. But they're to the point now, they've got to start getting some kind of a marketing advertising strategy going along, because they're not going to be at SHOT Show. So be fun. It'll be fun. Yeah, go check out Clover's tomorrow. I always enjoy that chat on Thursday nights. It's a really fun one if you're a creator and you want some of the behind the scenes. If you're not a creator yet, but you're thinking about it and you want some ideas on maybe what you should do or what you can't do or you have to do, go check that show. It's tomorrow at 8 Eastern, 7. Is that right?
Tomorrow is 9 Eastern for the nerd chat. Yeah.
Oh, it's Thursday, not tomorrow. Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, but
oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Thursday, not tomorrow. Thursday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Correct.
So yeah. Mandatory says I'll shill any non-gun company for free. Yeah, there you go. I'd hear that they're singing with mandatory carry. So guys, yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Damn, has it been an hour and 50 minutes? You know, we've been going long for the last month or so, but none of them seem like it. We have good conversations and they're fun, just hanging out with everybody. So in about 7 minutes roughly or so, go check out the channel Sandhill Shooters, and he's Sandhill Shooter. And he's got the Get Off My Lawn podcast starting at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, right here in about 5, 6, 7 minutes. Sandhill Shooter, Get Off My Lawn podcast. If you've never been over there, tell him Ghost sent you. There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you next Tuesday. We might do, I don't know what, we'll have a fun show next Tuesday before Christmas and all that, but we will be doing a show next Tuesday. Hope you guys can make it. If not, if you're with your families, enjoy your families. Send a care package or donate to an organization like Operation Gratitude that can send care packages to our troops overseas. Thank you. G23, Ninehawk Medic, Jason, Steven. I'm probably missing one. They've kind of gone away, so I can't see them all. Thank you to everyone who did a super chat tonight. Once again, all of that's going to go to Operation Gratitude. I think we raised enough for another 15 or so care packages to be sent to troops overseas. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys for doing that. It means the world to me that you would do something like that. It's something that's dear to my heart, and most of you guys, it may not, but the fact that you're willing to kind of help out and spend your hard-earned money to send care packages to our guys and gals overseas means the world to me. So thank you so much for that. Had a great time out there in the chat. Fantastic. Great ideas by a lot of people. If you're watching this in replay or listening to podcasts, hope we help you guys with some decent ideas for gifts or stocking stuffers and all that. If you have any questions or comments, utilize the comment section below. We can always use those. I love getting those questions. I love being trolled. Do your thing. There's very few things in this world that you can say that's going to get me truly fired up. You miss my family and friends and all that. That's going to be fired up. But just trolling me, I enjoy it, man. Bring it on. Have fun. Bring me some of those suggestions out there in the comment section on what gifts that you guys want to get or you've gotten for someone or you've seen online. It'd be a cool one. So guys, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Semper Fi.